Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you guys how I got this flawless base. The first step is prepping your skin. This is my favorite part of my routine. This keeps my face hydrated and smooth all day long and ensuring that my makeup lasts as long as possible. I like mixing the Rhode Glazing Milk with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This keeps my face so hydrated and so smooth. I have dry skin for reference, and it's just one of those steps that I cannot miss. Now moving on to foundation, I'm going to link all the products down below, but for foundation I use about 3 to 4 pumps of foundation and I buff it into the brush. This gives me an even application every time, but also providing me the most natural finish. I like to softly buff it into my face so it provides an even coverage. I'm going to leave the entire clip of me blending out my foundation so you guys can see the pace of how I blend and how beautiful the finish is. Did you guys see how I just covered my pimple? That was insane. It's the most beautiful foundation. It has the most natural finish. It's the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I'm in shade 5.25. Foundation is going to make or break your look, so I make sure that I take my time on this step. It's already looking so amazing, and I always blend it down to my neck to make sure there's no imperfections. Now moving on to bronzer, I'm using the Patrick Top bronzer and an angled brush like this. I like to pat in the bronzer on my cheekbone and a little bit higher to where your blush would naturally sit. This will give you the lifted look, and I like to bronze up my forehead to warm up the face. Also warming up my jaw for a more snatched effect. Now going in with the contour, this is in shade Shadow. And this is to create shadows. So what the bronzer does is warm up the face, and contour has a gray undertone. So this will actually provide shadows, making your face look more snatched, and you can actually change the shape of your face with contour. And I like to apply it on my eyelids, on my nose, on my cheekbones, under my lip. This is just creating shadows, and also on my jaw to define it more. One of my favorite steps is blending my jaw, because look at the definition and how it just changed the shape of my face. And for the rest of the areas, I don't really blend out. I like to keep the contour in place so I can create a shadow in the places that I applied it. So with bronzer, you can kind of just warm up the face, but with contour, you have to be a little bit more precise and clean. Now moving on to concealer, I'm using the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. It is very natural and beautiful. I love the finish, and I'm just applying it in the areas that I want to highlight. This is what it looks like so far. I hope this tutorial is helping you guys to see how I blend my makeup, because I promise this will give you the most flawless, long-lasting base that will last at least 12 hours. When blending my concealer, just like the contour, I like to keep it in place so it gives me the most amount of coverage in that area. And then once I'm satisfied, I then buff it out to the other areas of my face. I also like to buff it out towards my temples. This is going to give me a more snatched, clean makeup look. And going back in with the brush on all of the areas just to make sure that everything is evenly blended and flawless. Now moving on to blush, I'm using the DIOR blush, and this is actually my first time using it. It looks like a beautiful shade, so let's try it out together. It gave me a very natural finish, which I really like. It looks like it's buildable, so that's a plus. Now moving on to my loose powder. Like, this one has my name engraved in it. Thank you, Laura Mercier. That is so kind of you. But I'm using the Rose Laura Mercier setting powder. And I like to dip in my powder puff, and the excess I like to remove with the palm of my hand. This will give me a even coat every time, and I sort of build up the powder. So I'll set the powder on my under eye, and then I'll go back and bake. Setting my under eyes using this method is my most favorite steps in my routine because it provides such a flawless finish. I have dry skin, so I make sure that each step that I do keeps my makeup thin and not heavy, while also providing maximum coverage and keeping your face looking natural and clean. I added more under my eyes to bake my makeup, and while my makeup is baking, I'm going in with the YSL Beauty matte bronzer, and this is actually one of my favorite bronzers. It blends like a dream, and I'm just gonna go ahead and warm up my face. Warming up my forehead really just brings everything together. Just look at how it's just bringing my whole entire look together. Now moving on to my blush. I like to use the DIOR Backstage blush. This blush is so beautiful. It leaves a natural finish. So the key to a flawless base is layering to perfection, which means layering with intention and making sure that each product works well together. I like blending my blush on top of the loose powder because once I dust off the loose powder, it's going to give me an airbrushed finish. Now I'm contouring my nose using the YSL Beauty bronzer. This is just warming up my nose and giving me a more button effect. And topping off my makeup with some highlight. This is so beautiful. I love this highlight. Of course, everything is linked down below, so don't worry if you miss it in the video. Just click the description and you'll see all the products listed in the video. With the highlight, what I'm doing is basically adding it to all the areas where the light would naturally hit my face. Now we're going to set our makeup in place. This is going to melt it together. I'm using the Urban Decay setting spray. This is the glowy one. And then I'm going in with the One Size matte setting spray. Using both of these gives me a glowy, natural finish while also giving me the long-lasting makeup that I'm looking for. Now moving on to lips. I'm removing the excess makeup that was on my lips so I can get an even, beautiful application. And I'm going in with the Kylie Precisions Palette Lip Liner in shade Cappuccino. My light died, but you can see my makeup in natural lighting. It is so flawless. I got my light back on, and I'm going in with the Laura Mercier lipstick. This is in shade 136. It's one of my favorite nude lipsticks because it has a pink undertone, and it's just so pretty. Going in with my favorite gloss. This is the YSL Beauty Glazing Plumping Gloss, and I love it so much. It plumps your lips while also providing a beautiful finish, and it's not sticky at all, which I love because I hate when glosses are sticky. Okay, so I recently tried this mascara. This is Maybelline's waterproof mascara. I'll link it down below. And it is one of the most beautiful mascaras I've ever tried. I just tried it recently. I don't know if this is a new product, but I have tiny lashes and this literally elongates my lashes and gives me the maximum amount of volume I've ever had. Alright angels, this is the look. I'm all done. This is my most flawless, long-lasting makeup look. I hope you guys use all my makeup tips and tricks, and if you guys recreate the look, please tag me. I love seeing all your beautiful faces, and if you're new here, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.